When I mean I was stuck in a car for 8 hours, I mean I was stuck in a car for 8 hours. Now maybe not the normal stuck in a car where I'm not able to move or like I can't open the door. I was able to open the door and at least get some fresh air. What I mean is that roadside assistance for whatever insurance company is probably the worst thing in the world when it comes to calling in and placing your ticket or something, whatever the hell it was that I did. So, to give you a little bit of context, the car that I drive isn't the fanciest. It's not the most fixed up car. It's a 2002 Windstar. Now, it's been running for 21 years, and I gotta say, the 21 years that it ran, it was running good. I loved driving that baby, even though, it would have a little bit of problems. There was a dent on the car, and maybe the speakers didn't work so well anymore, and maybe the top of the car was bleached off because of so many years in the sun and just rusted. But the car was good. It was good to me. I grew up in it. Driving it felt very nostalgic to me. Now, one day, like a very good college student I am, I woke up about 15 minutes before class started, and I live pretty far from my school. I go to junior college and I live about 40 to 50 minutes away depending on traffic. I got in my car in such a hurry that my eyes were still groggy as hell. And I thought maybe my nose was playing tricks on me, but when I started the car, it started to smell like two wires were burning. Now, the reason I can tell that the wires were burning, freshman year of my high school career, I took a soldering class, and that stench, that smell when you melt two wires together, was the same exact smell that day when I got in that car and I started it. Now, I thought maybe this was just a one-off instance. I was thinking, you know what? Maybe it's just my imagination. I did just wake up 10 minutes ago. Maybe I'm still waking up. Maybe my nose is still waking up. But no. Then I realized noses never really sleep. Now, the week before this fruitful day of waiting in a car, the same exact car began to smoke. The mechanic and other people around the mechanic said that, oh, your water is out, or, whatever the fuck the part in the car is, because I'm not a big car person. Whatever, the water was just running out. You needed more water. I was like, okay. I didn't have a water bottle on me when I initially drove the car the first time it happened. But luckily, I wasn't, 40 minutes out. I just left my house, like about 10 minutes before. And I was like, okay. I took it back to the house. My grandma took care of it. Paid quite a buckaroo to get it fixed, apparently. And then it was supposedly good again. Well, I don't know if the mechanic lied or just fixed the wrong thing after we told him exactly what it was, because he didn't fix the thing we told him it was. He just fixed all the other things. Fucking mechanics, man. They get you for something. If you don't know anything, they get you for something. So I got in the car, and I'm thinking, oh, you know what? This car is fine. This is the first time I drove this car, back to my school after the initial smoke event happened. Everything's fine for the first 30 minutes besides the smell of the melting wires. And then I was about maybe 10 minutes away from school. At this point, I'm 40 minutes away from my house. I'm 10 minutes away from school, and then the car begins to smoke. Again. The same thing, the same type of smoke. And next thing you know, it's in the car. It looks like I just hotboxed in the car. The guy next to me is like, yo, pass the weed. I'm like, it's not weed. And he's like, okay, then if it's not that, you need some water in your damn car. That smoke ain't supposed to be there. Like the good young driver I am, I pull over, and then I immediately call my mom instead of road assistance, and I say, yo, that mechanic fucking lied. He did not fix this shit because it happened again. And at this point, I was a little scared to drive back home. I thought maybe, you know what, the car's gonna fucking explode or something. Who knows? Some things randomly explode. Like, didn't iPhones explode like 3 years ago? Or did a laptop explode a couple years ago? Isn't there a rumor going around where the PlayStation's gonna explode? And I don't know what was gonna happen to this car. I thought maybe it was gonna explode. I thought maybe it was her time. 21 years later, the car finally gives up. But no, cars don't do that, realistically. But I was still a little bit scared. I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do? At this point, it is 9 o'clock in the morning. I call roadside assistance, and they're like, okay, we'll get you a tow truck in about 20 minutes. 9:20. 20 minutes? I was like, that's impossible. I'll give them till 10. I'm a very patient person. I will say that. Maybe people push me over a lot, but I would say I'm a very patient person. Well, let's say 9:30 rolls around, maybe 9:40. I get a text. The bot sent an automated message to me saying, oh, the pickup is going to be around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The person on the phone told me 9:20. It is now 9:40, but I told myself maybe around 10. And I got a text saying, oh, well, you won't be there till 2:30 p.m. Okay, that's a little weird, but maybe the automated system doesn't know what the person told me, or maybe they're just not hand in hand. But, I was being very generous. Then I got a text from my mom saying, how you doing? What time's supposed to be there? And instead of being a smart person of saying, oh, I think it's going to be here around 10, I said, oh, I got a text message saying not till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Be in mind, this is already 9:40 in the morning. That is 4 hours away. So my mom gets outrageous. She's like, that's really unacceptable. And, it is. I'm not saying it's not unacceptable. It is. Having a person wait there for almost 5 hours just to get picked up, it's a little outrageous. So, rightfully so, she called instead of me. Maybe gave them some words, and she told me that they told her that, oh, they're going to get another tow service that's supposed to be there a little bit faster. They'll call in and then you put my order in or whatever. And then that the first time that I called, that order got canceled. And instead, I get new text messages saying that the second service is supposed to come in around, again, 1 o'clock. It is 10 o'clock at this point. Nothing has changed when it comes to time. Now I'm just like thinking to myself, okay, this is interesting, but I got my phone at least. Well, the thing is, and this is kind of a good part for iPhones, is that, or since I really don't use my phone too, is that iPhones tend to last a pretty long time. And since I really don't use my phone that often, I never really charge my phone. Let's say the night before, my phone was about at 70, 60%. I'm like, you know what? I only have a 3-hour class. I'm probably going to go home. The phone's going to last me, after I get to class and after I get home. I'll charge it when I get home. Well, I didn't know that this was going to happen. So my phone being at 60%, and it is around 10 o'clock, I start using it. Because you know what? I need to kill time somehow. If I'm supposedly waiting until 11 o'clock, or 1 o'clock, or 2 o'clock, I need to kill time somehow. And the only way to do it through my Zoomer mind is through my phone. It gets around 11 o'clock, my phone's now at 30%. And I start to kind of freak out just a little bit. Now, I never really experienced iPhone's, low battery mode. I've always had an Android. I've had this iPhone for about 2 years, but I never got it, below to where it was like 10% where I need to actually save battery. But Androids, they tend to lose battery power pretty fast, and even the low power mode does not last very long. It's 11 o'clock, and my phone has about 30% left. Now, I'm not taking a chance. I still need to get text messages from the automated system about where the tow service is supposed to come. I still need to get calls from my mom. And I also, just in case, I also need to text someone, just in case, just come pick me up. We'll leave the van here or something. It's around 11:30 now. I've been staring at the sky for about 30 minutes. And then I get a text message saying, oh, tow service won't be there till 12. I'm like, okay. I tell my mom that. She's still furious, but she's like, okay, 12:30. Sorry, you're going to have to wait there. So, it's 11:30. And then 11:45. And then 12 o'clock. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, this is fine. This is okay. And it's about an hour without using my phone. It is a little weird because where I did park or pull over, it was in a residential area because I didn't want to block traffic. Maybe you can say that the tow service weren't in a very hasty mood because I wasn't in the middle of the freeway or in the middle of the street blocking traffic. I was just, in a residential area, just pulled over. So I'm staring. It's trash day for this residential area. So, I'm just looking at the cars. I'm looking at the trash cans. I'm looking at the trash people pick up these huge dumpsters because I was next to some apartments. And, I see some people walking and some people looking at me. Some people looking at, I'm looking at some people. We're just staring at each other and then they walk. It is 12:30. Be in mind, I was there since 9 o'clock in the morning. It's been 3 hours and I stopped using my phone an hour ago. Nothing. 12 o'clock? Okay. Cool. I'll wait till 12:30. 12:30? Nothing. So then, I'm going to call the tow service. Again, I'm going to just call those same people I did in the morning, originally. So I call them, and they're like, oh, there was no order, called. The first one got canceled, and we never got a second one. So, I held in my pent-up frustration. I tend to be very nice. I try not to be a bitch, as some would say. The person on the phone was like, oh, would you like me to call in an order? I'm like, yes. They said that they're going to expedite the call, and I thought maybe expediting means I'm priority since I've been there since 9, and it's now 12:30, so I've been there for 3.5 hours. Maybe they'll be here sooner. The service would be there around 1:30, and it is 12:30. I'm like, you know what? That sounds more reasonable. An hour later. So then I put down my phone, never use it again, besides little messages here and there and text from my mom. A whole hour passes. It is now 1:30. I get a message saying from the automated system that it's not going to be there till 2:30. At this point, I'm going a little bit insane. I will say that. In my head, I keep singing the same song over and over again. And the next thing you know, I'm like, you know what? Let's just sing the whole album. If you don't know the album, I sung Dude Ranch by Blink 182 about 10 times in a row because I know all the songs in order. I don't know all the lyrics of the songs, but I know most of the lyrics for most of the are for all the songs, and I know what order they go in. Gosh, I'm such a fucking stand for Blink, aren't I? Jeez. It's actually just a sad thing to admit. It's now 2:30, and I'm freaking out. I just text my mom saying just send grandma over. She can come pick me up, and then, you know, we'll just see what happens from there. It is now 3:30 in the afternoon. My grandma comes and she's like, let me call them. She calls them, and within 30 minutes, the tow service is there. 30 minutes after she calls. And you know what? At this point, I couldn't get mad. I'm like, thank gosh the tow service is here. Thank you. I've been there since 9 in the morning. It is now basically 4 o'clock. 7 hours. Wasted my time. And I said, you know what? Maybe since she called it some sort of senior priority. They heard my voice over the phone. They're like, oh, this guy's a young kid. He's 19 years old. He can wait there for 7 hours. Oh, this poor old lady, she's been there, 7 hours because she pretended to be me. Tow service there in 30 minutes. That was my day. Basically stuck in a car without a phone. Too many hours by myself with my thoughts. Because when I say my thoughts started to creep in, my thoughts started to creep in. Whatever car you drive, no matter how old or new it is, make sure you check up on it so, some random ass smoke doesn't come out or just anything bad doesn't happen. So you have to wait 7 hours in the car. So for a fucking tow service to just cancel on you 2 times, and then you're waiting in the car and you're just like, what the hell is happening? And you're just freaking out and you're just like, what the hell is happening? And you're just like, it really was a full-on schizo that day. Anyways, it was fun. It was not fun. What am I talking about? Just make sure you check up on your cars, Make sure nothing bad is happening to your car. Make sure everything's fixed or at least doable so you can get to point A to point B, then back from point B to point A. Just make sure your cars are working. That's all. Anyways, peace. Charlie, how the fuck do you do this shit, dude? Oh my gosh. It's just someone having just the wittiness of the world, I guess, in his fucking fingertips.